So what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Today we're here with, Jimmie McBride. Now he has a story that, he would like to share, with the audience. And, I don't want to talk too long about the brother because he needs to definitely tell his story. But before he gets started with that, Jimmie, could you tell people just a little bit about yourself, where you're from, etc.?
I'm from Jasper, Texas. I work for myself. I have a record label, and I have artists. I have a couple more projects going right now, but I have a clothing line, and I pretty much work for myself.
All right, what city you coming out of?
Jasper, Texas.
Jasper, Texas. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because I grew up, in Port Arthur.
Okay. Yeah, that's about an hour away, about an hour and 15.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, tell people a little bit about what happened with the situation with your son.
Well, last year, about July, it was July 25th. He went to a friend's house. I believe it was a Thursday night, and then the next evening, at about 7 o'clock, I got a phone call saying that my 12-year-old son had got shot in the head, and I'm like he doesn't, hang around guns. He's a really good kid. Like he never did nothing like that. And the kids that were there, that were present when it happened, they said initially that my son shot himself. And when I contacted them when my son was fighting for his life, they kept saying he shot himself. And I'm like, Nick wouldn't do that. He wouldn't even, put a gun in his hand. And the police came to the hospital late that night, about 2 that morning. He died at about 10 o'clock that night. And we got the call at about 7:30. And at about 2 in the morning, they said he could not have shot himself because ballistics didn't show that he shot himself at all. So it had to have been somebody else that shot him. Well, the police decided not to go back to the residence where my son was shot at. They didn't go interrogate nobody else. And this is on a Saturday and Sunday. They didn't do nothing else until Monday morning, which gave the family time to clean the house up and, whatever else. My son's phone came up missing, his clothes came up missing. I mean, it's just a really crazy story, and no one has been charged to this day. It's been almost a year in about 10 days.
All right. So these friends, I mean, who were they? Did you know these people?
Well, I knew one of them. He went to a friend's house, and they happened to go to the neighbor's house about half a mile down the road. And the neighbor's son, a white kid, he went and got the gun from his mom and dad's closet, and he handed the gun to my son's friend, which he's a mixed kid, and he so-called shot him.
Okay. So the incident happened at you said at the friend's house, or that other kid's house that got the gun?
At the friend's neighbor's house.
Okay, the kid that got the gun, basically.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So your son didn't even know that kid?
Well, he probably knew him because he had been over there. Maybe he had been to that boy's house maybe 5 or 6 times. So I'm not sure if he went down the road before that time, but I'm not sure if he knew him or not. No, sir, I'm not sure.
Okay, so you said the main friend, you said basically had a white parent, but this other one was, you said, was white, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what kind of people was the white kid's family?
Well, I'm not pretty. I guess they work or whatever. I'm not sure who they are, but I mean, I heard the names are tied to some, I guess, a bigger family down here, and they decided they weren't going to charge the parents or nothing. Like basically, nothing happened to nobody. They didn't charge not one child, not one parent, nothing.
Okay, so you said ballistics say they first said he shot himself. Who
Yes, sir.
said
They
it?
lied.
Who said
The
that? The
kids,
kid said it, or the
the
police said
kids
it?
lied. Yeah, they lied, and then once they lied and they found out the kids lied, they waited till 3 days later to go interrogate them. And I'm like, what y'all do over the weekend? The detective said, well, I was out. I'm like, so a 12-year-old child got shot in the head on Friday night, and you take off the whole weekend before you go back and investigate it on Monday? Like, what? How do they do? I mean, I don't understand who does that. Like, that doesn't even make sense.
Okay, and did they tell you what kind of gun it was that was used?
It was I believe it was a 45 caliber weapon. Like, it's something that had to be held with both hands, basically. I mean, with that kind of gun, you have to aim it. if you shoot with one hand, you're gonna shoot yourself with it. Like it's a big gun.
Yeah, 45 is definitely a big gun. And how old was that kid, the one that got the gun? How old was he?
Well, my son was 12. I'm not sure. I think one of the boys was 13 and the other one was 12.
Okay. So it was no investigation into who the parents were, their leanings, like how they feel. I mean, do they like black people or no?
Well, the thing about it is the sheriff, after like 5 days, when I went and talked to him, he pretty much said he was done with the case. They were done investigating the case. I said my son's phone is missing. They never looked for the phone. They never looked for his clothes. And he just said they're going to hand it over to the DA. And then we heard nothing else about it. Nothing at all since then. I talked to the DA. She hasn't responded. We haven't talked to anybody.
Okay, so what I'm trying to understand, you mentioned the clothes. What did he go to? I mean, the clothes they took off at the hospital, or how? Well,
yes, they came up missing as well. Yes, sir.
Oh, that's interesting. So the clothes came up missing. What y'all wasn't up there when they took the clothes, or what happened with that?
Well, we were there that whole morning, but he was supposed to get the clothes, and he's claimed that he never got them. And when he went back, they just disappeared. I mean, that's what I'm saying. We don't know anything. That's the story they gave us.
And after 5 days, the sheriff said, "You know what? I'm done with it. We already did what we had to do. I mean, hey, tough luck." Basically,
yeah, pretty much. That's what happened. Yes, sir.
Okay. So what happened from there once they kind of told you that?
Well, we had a protest, one protest in Jasper, and they did nothing. I went and talked to the DA. She said they're gonna wait till the grand jury sees the case, and I would know within 6 months. It's been a year now, and we haven't heard nothing. I mean, we're just getting ring around the rosy. Basically, we don't know what's going on.
And what's the district attorney's name?
I believe her name is Ann Pickle.
Okay, and so the sheriff and the DA, they haven't came back, with nothing at all.
Well, they just finally reached out to me recently. I want to say maybe a week ago, and they were saying something about wanting to talk to us, and they want to get us to talk to them with the attorney general and see what they're going to do. And I'm like, what y'all waiting on? So they told us that about a month ago, and they're supposed to reschedule it. But as of right now, no, we don't know anything.
Okay, so what do you think that happened?
I mean, it's so many stories that's floating around town about what happened, and it was said that, I mean, like I said, it was said, but I don't know. But it's a bigger kid there, and it was more than one person there. Like basically, what they said as far as how it happened is not how it actually happened. That's why the phone came up missing, because they so-called recorded it as well. But we told the police this, and they never ever tried to look. They never even attempted to.
Okay, so let's go down that rabbit hole of what people are saying. So he said it was recorded. Who were all the other people there? What were they?
That's what I'm saying. Like basically, we don't know. They just saying that basically they saying it was just my son and two kids present when it happened. But at that household, it's like at least one more child in the household that it happened at, and like three more at the other one. And they're saying that it was like two or more people there, but we really don't know, the actual story. We weren't there to see it, so I don't know. And they say that big kid, the one that's the big brother to the one that shot my son, he plays with guns a lot, and he points guns at kids. And it wouldn't be surprised if he's the one did it, but they never did ballistics on anybody. Like they didn't do nothing as far as their part to figure out who it was. And they gave it away. The case just gave to the DA, and they never did nothing else.
Okay, so that other friend, because I'm just trying to understand the mindset of that other friend. You say the one that was that had a white parent. Was the dad around, or just the white mama was raising that other kid?
I'm not sure about I think just the mama, but I don't want to sit there and say something that's not true, so I'm not sure. But I think just the mom there.
You think just the mom? Okay, so
the house that it was two people there, but the house he went to was one. It was one woman there.
Okay, so your son, out of all that crowd, was probably about the only one that had two black parents in that crowd.
Yes, sir. Yeah, pretty much. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. So basically, the only let's say child is okay. So the other ones that showed up, the other rumor is were all white, correct?
Well, it was all white and then 2 mixed.
Okay, all right. So what else they're saying in town?
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's how it happened, but it's just a story that's being said around town, and then people are trying to, and the police never investigated to even see if it was true.
Yeah, but sometimes you got to put it out there because some people may watch this that live in Jasper, and actually people live in Jasper do watch our show, and they may actually see this and they may say, "Wait a minute, I know about that." So that's why I'm trying to get you to put out there what's all being said. So what else is being said that could have happened? Because obviously the police not doing nothing.
I mean, that's pretty much all that's being said. Because we told the sheriff everything I'm telling you now. We told him the same thing, and he decided that he was not gonna investigate into it any further. That's after 5 days. I'm like, how can you make that kind of judgment after 5 days?
Okay,
that don't even make sense.
Well, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the Jasper police or even the sheriffs around that area, they're not too kind to black people. Am I correct?
Well, I mean, they pretend to be, but I mean, I have so many. My cousin just died down here. My one of my brothers just died, got killed down here. Like people get killed down here all the time like that, and the sheriff, he pretty much don't do his job. But because of who he is, they keep him in office, and I don't get it. Like he's not doing nothing.
Okay,
it's just crazy. I mean,
you say you had a family.
I have nothing good to say about the police in Jasper. They don't do their jobs as far as I'm concerned. I have so many brothers dead, because of crime happened down here. They never investigated to none of the murders. It's normal. Like you really could come down here and do something, and they ain't gonna do nothing. They just don't. They don't care. It's been that way for years.
Now we know Jasper has definitely had a history. I know you remember definitely with the Albert Wright situation.
Yes.
Jasper with James Byrd. I mean, this yes. Listen, I know about Jasper, brother. I know Jasper has a horrible history of white supremacists down there. It is Klan Central. Now, if it changed, I don't know. But from all the time I knew growing up, Jasper was Klan Central. I have another brother I know that's from Jasper, said the same thing, that people have been found, lynched and claimed suicide. Is that still going on down there?
Just want to say they tried to do my son the same way until they found out when they ran ballistics, he couldn't have shot himself. But they tried to do my son the same way. Oh, he shot himself. Like, no.
Oh,
no
so they say it's suicide.
They tried to at first, but once they found out he didn't, then they had to change the story around. And now nobody got charged. The kids didn't go to juvenile. Like everybody's at home, enjoying themselves. And my son's in the grave.
Let me ask you a question then. Do you believe your son was murdered?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
100%. 100%.
And do you believe that the sheriff is helping cover it up?
I mean, to me, if he's not doing his job, of course, yes. I mean, yes, because you're paid to do that job to, investigate and figure out what happened, and he didn't do that. So yes, he's helped cover. Yeah, yes.
Okay. And what's your son's name?
Nicholas McBride.
Nicholas McBride.
Yes,
yeah, because see, there's stories like this that we don't know, and many names we don't know. I know we know the Breonna Taylors and the George Floyds, but
yes, sir.
Many names like this, that things like this has happened, and these police departments or sheriffs helping cover up crimes. Because obviously, listen, when the phone came up missing and they didn't ping the phone, listen, let me ask you a question. Was the phone in your name?
No, it was a phone that he had. His mom had it for him. He had that phone for a while, so they knew the number and everything. So they told the police because they pinged the phone. It was an iPhone, and it's like they pretty much acted like they wasn't even. Man, you'd have to be there to see it. I mean, I have several witnesses that was there when they talked to me about it, and it's like they were very nonchalant, very.
Well, let me ask you a question. Have you done your own investigation? For instance, like, let's say it was one of my kids' phone, like it's my account or whatever. I can look and see everywhere, they was using that phone, every location, all of that on my own just to kind of see at least where that phone was being used just on my own. Did you ever try to do that?
See, I never had it. Wasn't under my contract. His mom had got it. I'm not sure what kind of phone it was, but I think it's one of those Wi-Fi phones. So I'm not sure how she had it hooked up. You know, I don't think she had it where she could find out. But we knew that by being an iPhone, you could ping it, like you said. And like I said, the detective, he took off the whole weekend. Like that Saturday, instead of him investigating more into my son's murder, he went home. And Sunday he chilled, and then Monday morning he started back the investigation. Which by that time the kids came and they confessed to it, and they still didn't get charged.
Hold on, wait. What did they confess to? What did they actually say?
One kid said he went up in the closet, he got his mom and dad's gun, and the other kid said, well, he handed it to the other kid, and he accidentally shot my son, but he shot him dead inside the head, like a kill shot.
Okay, so basically he admitted to killing your son. That's an admission.
And they still didn't charge him. Yes.
And he still didn't get charged.
No, they didn't charge anybody.
Okay, now have you guys tried to go past the local DA and go even further up?
Man, brother, when I tell you I've called the FBI, I've called Internal Affairs, I've called the Texas Rangers, I've called the state senator, I've called NAACP, the Black Panther. I've called everybody that I can call, and I have gotten no help. That's why it's almost been a year now.
Okay, so you say you called the NAACP, and what, they just didn't respond, or did they tell you
something? Well, they
back?
responded to me, but they never got back with me. Like, I mean, they just never got back with me.
Okay, and what about any lawyers? Have you talked to any lawyers?
Well, we had a lawyer that somebody had when it first happened, like 4 or 5 days later, they bought somebody to me, and we were fighting for it. But basically, they're leaving the case open. They're saying it's due to further investigation. Therefore, they won't give us anything. We can't get no body cam pictures. Like, only thing we got is an autopsy. That's it. Like, they won't give us nothing. They won't give us a police report. We can't get nothing.
Okay. Well, you know, something definitely needs to happen, and with this, because at least someone needs to look more into it. Because yes. I mean, all this sounds fishy. Anybody listening that may be in that area, Jasper, or anybody even here in Houston, you know, that they got their ears perked up with this particular case. This is something definitely needs to be looked into, because this sounds just straight up BS, especially when you get a confession. Which one confessed? Which kid confessed?
His friend, the house that he actually went to, he confessed to, you know, doing it. Well, both of them, I guess, but they both said they parts in it, and they decided that they're going to keep it an accident. Therefore, if they leave it an accident, they're going to, I mean, there's nothing I can do about it.
Okay, so what you mean the friend? Are you talking about the one he originally went to the house with?
Yes, that's the one that said he shot him. Yes, on accident.
Oh, okay, the one with the white parent.
Yeah, well, one white mom and a black dad. Yes, sir.
Yeah. That's what I say. Yeah, you say the
yes,
biracial one. Okay, so
yes,
he the one shot your son.
That's the one that confessed to shooting him.
So well, if you said this on the side of the head, why are you sticking a 45 to somebody's head?
You see what I'm saying? Like, why would you put a gun?
That doesn't even make sense.
And the thing about these two boys, both of these kids, they have been hunting their whole life, so they know how to hunt. They know how to handle a gun, if it's loaded, if it's not loaded. They've been handling guns since they was, 2, 3, 4 years old. So how all of a sudden when my son came over, y'all was accidentally shot him in the head? Like, that don't even make sense. It makes no sense at all. And then the kind of gun it was, if he had it in one hand and he shot it, he probably would have shot himself. It's too big. You can't. They're gonna come back and hit you in your face when you shoot a gun like that with one hand. You got to have both hands on that gun. So for it to hit my son on the side of the head, like right here, you aim that at his head right there. There's no way.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Because like you said, yeah, you're right about a 45. 45 has a recoil for you.
Oh, you got to hold that gun. I don't care how big you are.
It's
with
right.
Both of your hands.
That's right. You're definitely right about that. So, just based off of what you're saying, it sounds like they intentionally did that to me. It sounds like intentional. It sounds like the hospital is negligent with evidence.
Yes, like, what I'm saying, like, I don't understand. I don't get none of this. I don't understand at
And,
all.
and when he died, were you guys there at the hospital?
Yes, sir. I was right there waiting on him. And when I got there, when they called me at about, I think it was like about 7:15, they said he was in Jasper and they had a life fight him. I made it halfway to Jasper and they life fight him the Beaumont. So I made it to the hospital before him and I sat there and waited an hour or so and it was about 8:30 and then at about 9:45 they called me in the room and they told me he didn't make it. And it just blew my mind, man. It's just, I don't know.
So he died in Beaumont?
Yes, sir, in the Beaumont Hospital. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right.
He fought for a long time. My baby fought.
So from there, did anything else happen after that? Anything civilly? Anything happen after that?
Nothing, no, sir.
Nothing at all.
Now, my lawyer has a civil lawsuit in process right now against the house where it happened at. But like I told my lawyer, my main thing is more of getting justice. I mean, the civil lawsuit, all that's just something that they pay for as far as the insurance, something. But my son didn't deserve to get killed like that, and he deserves justice, definitely. And that's just not right for nobody to get charged at all.
Well, these kids also, let me ask another question. Did you learn more about them? I'm like, did they have any, I'm just trying to understand how this happened because, we in this climate, especially the climate in Jasper, you know as well as I know, it's like you say, it's a lot of racism going down in that area. You know that.
Yeah.
Do you believe any of these kids had any of those feelings or not? Are they parents?
Man, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I can't speak for them, but I know that my child was a good kid and he wouldn't put himself in that kind of predicament. So for it to happen to him, he was put in that predicament. Nick, he didn't even, anybody, you could talk to anybody about him. He was a great kid. You're not gonna find nothing bad about him. He was a great kid, a really good kid.
Okay, so if you can, like speak to anybody, like say right now, and reach out to, what groups do you want to come help with this situation that maybe you can speak to right now? Because obviously for me, it sounds like you need somebody to help do their own investigation, like maybe a private investigator.
Yeah, I've been looking for a private investigator myself, and I do need one. Yes, the Texas Rangers do need to step up and do their job because they're not stepping up and making the sheriff do his job. So Texas Rangers, of course, because they're the ones above us in Texas. We don't have an FBI. The FBI only get involved if the Rangers call them. But as far as the sheriff department, I can only call the Texas Rangers on him. And if they say we're okay with what he's doing, there's nothing I can do about that. And the FBI told me the same thing. Like, I'm like, this is crazy.
Okay, so and the Texas Rangers have you I don't know where their main, wherever headquarters or whatever. Did you go up there and talk with them?
I've talked to the man, and I can't remember the names. It was a while back when I talked to him, but I talked to the one in Austin, and I talked to one of the guys here in Beaumont. I talked to two different ones, and both of them gave me the same answer. As for they said that Sheriff Newman, they felt he would do his job, and they wasn't gonna get involved in that. And I'm like, but he said he's not gonna investigate the case at all no more. It's been 5 days. And they told me they felt he's gonna do his job, and I need to go talk to him. And he won't even talk to me.
Okay. Well, like I said, it definitely sounds like the grassroots got to start making some noise, because that's usually how it gets stirred up, is because you have stories like even Breonna Taylor. The grassroots got that started. Ahmaud Arbery, the grassroots got that going. It wasn't any of them, because Breonna Taylor, she was killed, way before the people start talking about it. But, what I would say to the ladies and gentlemen, this is the kind of stuff that we're dealing with here in America, as Black people. This is what we're dealing with, and when actual crimes are happening to us, they're not doing anything. Especially when a confession. If you have a confession, and they told you. I'm gonna repeat this. They told you the kid confessed, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And nothing was done at that point. No, they're covering it up. So
nothing.
So
nothing. I mean, I'm still sitting here right now.
something got to be done. And
Yes,
I
sir.
know, I'm surprised Lee Merritt didn't call you on that situation. I'm surprised because
Well, I've called him. I've talked to a guy that worked for him, but he said he couldn't take my case because I had a civil lawyer already. So it was basically he didn't want to lose his license because I already got a lawyer on the case already.
Okay. So you already have a lawyer. Okay, gotcha. I got you. Because I was quite shocked. That's usually something that Lee Merritt get right involved. Him and Ben Crump. That's usually
Yeah.
their lane. I'm just saying in general, that's their lane. But brother, like I said, we definitely thank you for joining us, today and let us know the story and anybody that could help with that situation. Brother, what's your email? That way somebody watching say, man, I can help out with that situation. What's your email?
Jimmie McBride, JimmieMcBride01@gmail.com.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if any of you in the area may have any information, or maybe some of you could be lawyers, private investigators, or anyone who can help with this situation, email the brother directly. Let him know who you are and what you're trying to do, because this is stories that happen. This young child was killed. A kid admits to doing it with a 45. Okay, so obviously he had to square his hands up to do that, because you can't shoot no 45 with one hand. Most people can't. Jimmy, I know you can't do that. So some has to be done. That sheriff up there is obviously just blowing it over, because we don't know if that sheriff know that family. Because how many times have we seen stories like that? The sheriff know the family and the sheriff's trying to cover up because they know the family. Because we don't know the ties. We don't know. And this is what happens with this wicked system in America and corrupt system, is that when crimes happen, they're not trying to do anything about it. But make sure you email the brother if you could help out in any way, shape, form, or fashion. And
please do.
Yeah, and brother, like I said, you just definitely hang on in there and keep us informed on what's going on.